Thank you, Madam Moderator. And let me, with your permission, first of all, recognize the presence of the Right Honourable Prime Minister, Dr. Denzel Douglas, the leader of the Nevis Reformation Party, Mr. J.W. Parry, the Honourable E. Roberto Hector, the next federal representative for Nevis 9, Senator the Honourable Carl L. Powell, Chairman of the Nevis Reformation Party, Herman Bobby Liebert, let me also welcome my beloved constituents of Nevis 11, the people of Nevis, and also my comrades and friends from the other side of paradise who are here this evening. I am here this evening to present to you a report on the relentless crusade of transformation of the entire constituency of Nevis 11 into a symphony of development and people empowerment. This march has been chartered primarily by the work of the Nevis Reformation Party. Permit me to observe and say the obvious. Nevis 11 is by far the largest constituency in terms of physical landmass on the island of Nevis. It encompasses Cuddock Road in the west to New River in the south. My address tonight will chart the course of development at Nevis 11. The development that was led by J.W. Parry and the men and women of the Nevis Reformation Party. In 2006, the NRP government, on assuming office, met the island main road from Gingerland to Newcastle Airport in a sick state of disrepair, with ravines winding their way in the middle of the road. Recall that the road here at Jessups, connecting the villages of Barnsgate and Cotton Ground, was nearly impassable, and in certain areas at that time, it consisted of 2 strips. It meant for many years, the good people of Nevis 11 suffered from ruinous roads with high vehicle maintenance. The NRP led NIA in 2006, and in one act, commenced the construction of the 3rd phase of the Island Main Road from Gingerland to Potworks, and also the road connecting the villages of Jessups, Barnsgate, Cotton Ground, bringing relief to the deprived people of Nevis 11. It was NRP who paved the entire road from camps in the Atlantic East to Westbury in the Caribbean Sea West, bringing much relief to the residents and the traveling public using the road in those areas. Lest we forget, and let me say aloud and proud, that it was the Nevis Reformation Party government that lifted up constituency 11 people and gave us pride by ensuring, though we were last to get paved roads in certain areas, we got the best paved roads in the island of Nevis. In 2006, Nevis 11 had a sprinkling of affordable homes. Today, the good people of Nevis can boast of a vastly improved housing stock. At Maddens, you will be able to see the NRP investment in homes for our people. The housing revolution was ignited under NRP, and is evident at Jessups, Cahoon, Eden Brown, Charles Road, Nisbett, and in all the far reaches of this vast parish. There are so many young persons who have been elevated to the privileged status of proud homeowners here. And as someone would say, shake your keys. From village to village, the NRP has ensured that our children are fed in the school meals program. Our good people are sheltered in the homes we constructed under our various housing programs. The NRP administration also distributed throughout Nevis 11 to persons who are desirous to own a piece of the rock to construct their own homes. And this was separate and apart from the lands that were allocated under our affordable housing program. We did ensure that as these distributions were done, the attendant physical infrastructure was put in to the comfort and convenience of the prospective homeowners, all in an effort to empower the people and build communities that are conducive to family life. The truth is the same in healthcare, computer literacy programs, homework assistance programs, education, agriculture, and in all areas of government service. When the NRP was in the government, these services, before the NRP took government in 2006, some of these services were virtually non-existent. It was the NRP government that took a serious look at national security in Nevis. We built barracks for the police at Butlers. This was done to help keep the people of St. James in particular safer. In Cotton Ground, the NRP also built a modern and state-of-the-art police station. The first such facility to be built in the modern history of Nevis. Prior to 2006, the thought of building a police barracks at Butlers did not enter anyone's contemplation. However, the then Premier J.W. Parry, the man charged with security on the island of Nevis, he came up with this very novel idea. It was done, and it further strengthened the police force in Nevis and increased security on the island of Nevis. In terms of social development, the NRP has always been a people-centered organization. And we did embark upon an extensive program of construction and modernization of community centers throughout Nevis. It was provided for the first time in the area of Jessups, and that's why we are here tonight. Barnscott, Cotton Ground, Fountain, Franklin Brown Community Center, they were built state-of-the-art community facilities. These facilities symbolizes the NRP's contribution to the process of community development and its commitment to ensuring that the environment we engender for the people of Nevis 11 is a just, inclusive, and more cohesive society that works for all our people. Members of this community, as a result of these buildings, will be able to access a wide range of training, education, and self-development activities that will add value to their lives and their communities. With the improved roads, the increase in the bigger and better housing program we had, the improvement in the social fabric of the community, increased educational opportunities for our people, and the further strengthening of the security apparatus here in Nevis 11, it created the enabling and conducive environment to attract investment in our constituency. And that is why we can boast tonight and say, it was in Nevis 11 that the first wind farm, the first commercial wind farm was commissioned to provide cheaper, cleaner, and a more reliable form of energy for our people. I want now to turn to the issue of collaboration and cooperation. Following the 2010 general elections, I was approached by the Prime Minister to serve in his cabinet in the capacity as Attorney General. The opposition forces in Nevis were critical of this shift in policy. They prefer, and they still prefer, instead to cultivate an environment of hostility and antagonism towards the Labour government with no tangible benefit to the people of Nevis. An acrimonious relationship between the administrations in Bastia and Charlestown is a major hindrance to foreign direct investment in Nevis. As an elected parliamentarian, one must be prepared to lead and work with other leaders. I recognize the value of replacing the spirit of confrontation, evident in campaigns, with the spirit of consultation required for governance. I was elected because the people believe that I could deliver on their behalf. They trusted my judgment. And in my judgment, the best way I could deliver is to be a part of a government, to work with the leadership of that government to bring benefit to my people. And so I reported to duty in Bastia. I went with the consent of my party leader. I went with the consent of my people. And I went with the consent of the party which I belong to. And so let me briefly highlight a few of the tangible achievements that this strategic relationship has brought for the people of Nevis. They say I must only speak for 15 minutes, so I'll go quickly. The one-to-one laptop program. We brought the one-to-one laptop program to the children of Nevis. This was a program at its inception was designed primarily for the children of St. Kitts. It was a promise that the Prime Minister made in an election campaign. We wanted to ensure that we were able to bridge the digital divide and promote digital equity in Nevis. We wanted to ensure that our young people are able to compete in an information-driven world. To this end, each secondary school student in Nevis and 137 sixth formers have been given laptops on the island of Nevis. In the short and medium term, this program is an investment in the young people and the communities they live in. In the long run, this program is an investment in the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis. Corporate taxes. I went to Bastia, and one of the first things I did was to bring home corporate taxes to the people of Nevis. Businesses were operating in Nevis and paying their taxes to the federal government in St. Kitts. Nevis has been trying to change that since the 1980s. It took me 8 months in the federal cabinet to bring a bill to the National Assembly that stated that businesses operating in Nevis will pay corporate taxes to the Nevis Island Administration. A major achievement, ladies and gentlemen, realized in a short space of time. J.W. Parry then said that that action added $10 million in the coffers of the Nevis Island Administration. It made Nevis more financially sound. And with added revenue, it meant they could have done more things on the island of Nevis. And so, my friends, we have moved from an era of confrontation to an era of consultation. No need for the acrimonious relationship between the people of Nevis and the people of St. Kitts. The NRP has worked closely with the Labour government to resolve issues of mutual interest in an amicable and cooperative way. J.W. Parry and the Prime Minister Denzel Douglas introduced the new doctrine of consultation and cooperation. People Empowerment Program or People Employment Program, PEP. The main objective of this program is to reduce the rate of unemployment and empower nationals to earn a living by providing skills training, opportunities for work experience, and the funding for development of small enterprise. PEP was launched in Nevis in December of 2010, when NRP was still in power in Nevis. And I want to report to you tonight that over 600 persons in Nevis are today gainfully employed under the People Empowerment Program. And so, the Calypsonian asks, say he wants the SIDF money. So when you see the PEP people, you just say, that is where the SIDF money is. Currently, there are 40 young persons who are being trained in culinary arts and cosmetology as part of the People Employment Program, for which they are getting paid. We are training people on the PEP, and at the same time, we are paying them. I want also to say to you that under a program called WISE, Women in Small Enterprise, we have been able to distribute in Nevis to 100 women checks so that they can have some form of microfinancing to help them either to create new businesses or to help them with their businesses that are already established. And so we have distributed checks in the amount of 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 to the women of Nevis. Also in Nevis currently, there is a seed program, and I want to report to you tonight that 24 businesses in Nevis were created out of that seed program. And the total loans disbursed total to $2,255,000. Also, under the FRESH program, the FRESH program is a mortgage program that is funded by the SIDF. So far, 75 persons from Nevis have accessed this program. And total contribution from FRESH in Nevis alone amounts to $8.4 million being dispersed into the economy of Nevis. In terms of education, you have heard about the REACH. And under the REACH program, I want to say the Nevisians, they have taken full advantage of this program. 126 students from Nevis are presently benefiting from this REACH program. Our students are enrolled at CFB, the Sixth Form College, and also at AVEC. And it is estimated that the scholarship to date is valued at $500,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars for the children of Nevis. There's also a TOPS program that our children of Nevis are also enrolled in. So far, we have had 29 students from Nevis enrolled in this program. And the total value of the stipend is about $121,000. And there are other programs in terms of help where our people from Nevis have access and they have benefited from. And I'm highlighting that to demonstrate clearly to the people of Nevis that the SIDF is indeed at work on the island of Nevis. Lastly, in relation to the SIDF, I want to say to you that the SIDF has also given grants to the Nevis Island administration. How many of you know that the SIDF gave a grant of US $434,000 for the improvement of the Bath Hotel and the Bath Stream rehabilitation? 1 million Eastern Caribbean dollars was also given for the reconstruction of a tender pier in Charlestown. And you would have seen the Prime Minister in Nevis recently going around and viewing a water project. And that water project is funded by the SIDF to the tune of 2.5 million Eastern Caribbean dollars. And I'm advised, very well advised by the Prime Minister, that 2.5 is the first tranche. The amount of money that the SIDF will pump into this project is 8 million Eastern Caribbean dollars. My dear people, I have presented to you so far a report card. And I want to ask you, the member for Nevis 9, he has been in Bastia for the last 7 years. And when you see him, I want you to ask him, what has he brought home for the people of Nevis? That is why we say to you that performance matters. Before I end my presentation tonight, I want the people of Nevis in particular to do some sober reflection on what I have to say next. There is a cabal in this country calling themselves unity. But they are stained with the twin evils of deception and hypocrisy. Criticize their neighbor for doing something, and then as soon as you turn your back, they are caught doing the same thing and even worse. Just look at the issue of the land for debt swap. The members for Nevis 9 and 10 had much to say about the Prime Minister and the land for debt arrangement. They were saying he's selling out the patrimony of the country. They even were saying, oh, he needs to resign over the land for debt. In fact, this land for debt, which they pretended they were so against, was the very basis on which Mark Brantley filed a motion of no confidence in the government. The very basis. Next thing you look, after opposing the land for debt swap in St. Kitts, like Nicodemus and a thief in the night, members Brantley and Amri secretly signed off on the land for debt swap in Nevis without consulting the people of Nevis. The question you must ask, where is the transparency? Where is the good governance and integrity in public life that they talk so much about? My dear people, that is the hypocrisy which I speak about. There are so many contrary principles and positions. One side supports land for debt, while another does not. Brantley is now a recent convert and speaks unity, but Emery is known to still speak secession. I want also to remind the people of Nevis 11 in particular, my beloved constituents. For the last local elections in Nevis, a gentleman by the name of Alexis Jessups, now Honourable, he ran a campaign against me telling the electorate of St. James that they should not vote for Patrice Nisbett because I want 2 jobs and 2 salaries. He actually circulated a petition in November called Stop Patrice Nisbett Now. This was before the election in Nevis. Do you know what the petition said? I want to quote the petition for you tonight. It says, the election of Patrice Nisbett is bad for our democracy. History has shown, if you put too much power in the hands of one man, it can be dangerous. Consider that he is the Attorney General and a member of the Federal Cabinet, yet he wants to be an elected member of the Nevis Island Assembly. That was the essence of his campaign against me. I want 2 jobs and I greedy. That's what he was saying. Well, you know what is so interesting? Is that the same gentleman, man, having been elected to the Nevis Island administration, now wants to be elected to the federal parliament and to the federal cabinet. You think I should file a petition against him? My dear people, I am trying to demonstrate to you the way how these people think. It is wrong for me to be a rep in the federal parliament, but it's okay for Emery, Brantley, and Jessups to be a rep in both parliaments. And so, my good people of Nevis 11, I want to say to you that this is the nature of the man that you're dealing with. They indulge in double talk and they are very duplicitous. They love to engage in pretense and hypocrisy. This is why I continue to warn the people of Nevis to be very careful of those who present themselves to you and want to be elected. You would realize how they were able, during the January 2013 election, to talk out of both sides of their mouth. And so, my dear people, I have sought to present to you tonight a report on my stewardship. Since you have sent me to Bastia, and during the time we occupied the seat of government in Nevis, I want to say to you that we have submitted a record of achievement and accomplishment. We have also presented to you a record of performance. That performance led to the physical transformation, economic transformation, and social transformation of this entire constituency of Nevis 11 and the island and people of Nevis. And that is why it is so easy to ask you to continue to support the Nevis Reformation Party. And that is why it is so easy for you to continue to give your support to the Nevis Reformation Party. To those of you who have not given it in the past, have you been here tonight? It should be easier to give it now. And so we want you to get on board with the Nevis Reformation Party. Compare and contrast. Criticism and promises with performance. It is there for all to see. And so I want you to continue with the men and women of the Nevis Reformation Party. And so to Alexis Jeffers, Timothy Harris, Mark Brantley, and all the others of Unity who are gunning and coming and saying they want Nevis 11th seat. I have said it before, and I have no problem in saying it again, that Joseph's Parish St. Thomas's and Nevis 11 is unshakable, unmovable. It is well entrenched and firmly embedded in the bosom of the Nevis Reformation Party. Good night and God bless you.